Microsoft Excel. This is very important because it is the first step whenever we want to enter data in Microsoft Excel worksheets. So selecting cells in MS Excel is something very important, and to do that we have the procedure that we follow. The first one is you need to click on a cell in order to select it. For example, we said Microsoft Excel is made up of columns and rows. Columns, rows. The columns, they are represented with alphabetical letters, whereas the rows are represented with numbers. And we said the intersection of columns and row, they make up a cell. So for example, when you look at column B, this is the line, the vertical line that represents data. Then when you look at column B, where it meets with row 20, we have that cell, and that cell is called B20. That's the name of the cell. So any cell you see in Microsoft Excel has a name, and that name is obtained from the columns and the row. Where they intersect, where they meet, that's what we call the cell. So whenever you want to select a cell, you come and hover on top of that cell. For example, I want to select this cell, as you can see where my cursor is. So whenever I want to select this cell, I just come and hover on top of it, then I click on that. After clicking on that cell, now when you go into the box name, you see that the name of the cell is already appearing in the name box, and that cell is C22. It is called what? C22. How did I get this name? I said I got this name by reading what? By reading the name of the column, which is column C, and also by reading the name of what? The name of the row, which is row 22. So after doing that, I know that the cell I have selected is called cell C22, and that is how I can select cell. So what if you want to select multiple cells? What you do, you click on the first cell and then you drag and out of the selection to select multiple cells. So as you can see, I have all these cells selected, and now these are range of cells starting from C25, which is C25 up to F up to F34. So what is F34? F34, this is the last cell, and C25, this is the first cell that I selected. So the range of C25 up to F34 is what we call this one that I've selected. So whenever you want to select more than one cell, you just select the first cell and then you drag outside the selection, and then you get the range of the cells that you are trying to select. So for example, if you have numbers like, for example, I have numbers like say I have numbers like 23, and then I have numbers like 56. Now I maybe I also have numbers like 67. So if I want to get the sum of these numbers, I can use the range function, by saying equal sign. I typing equal sign, then I say the sum of. So I get the sum of the first value, then I use the range. Ranging from C27, because I want to get this number. Even if you get, maybe use the first cell, which we say C25, then up to F34. F34. Now you realize that after doing that, all these cells will be selected, but now sum function will only consider numerical values. It will not consider empty cells. So by doing that, when I press enter, I will still get what? These are some circular reference. We formally refer to its own cells directly or indirectly. This may cause. So what I'm going to do, I am going to get these values, the cells of these values. So go ahead and say equal sign, then I input the function again, and then I put the name of the function, which is some function. I get this value. Then I use the range. Range is represented with a semicolon. Then I put the last value. So now from here you can see that all these cells have been selected, and then I am going to use that the sum function will consider only these numbers. So by pressing enter, I will be able to get the answers. So you can see I have 146. This one, even if you do it with your calculator, you say you say 23 23 plus 67 plus 56. 3 plus 7, 10. 10 plus 6, you get 16. Plus 6, you carry 1. 1 plus 2, 3. 3 plus 6, you get 9. 9 plus 5, you get 14. So you realize that the same answer you get using your calculator is the same answer you get using the function, the sum function. So generally, that's how we can select cells. We can select a single cell and multiple cells. And whenever we select a multiple cells, it means we're now going into the range, and then that range helps us to select an array of cells or a multiple cells which can be maybe containing numbers. So whenever we want to handle those numbers with a certain function, we can use the range, which is denoted with the semicolon, and then we can easily manipulate all that. Otherwise, thank you. Let's catch up, guys, in the next video for another technique or another trick in Microsoft Excel.